October 24th, 1929. The stock market collapses. Fortunes vanish in hours. Banks close. Men jump from windows on Wall Street. And 5 months later, on a cleared lot at 34th and 5th Avenue, workers start digging the foundation for the tallest building ever attempted. Look at the math. 102 stories, 1,250 feet, 57,000 tons of steel. More steel than the Chrysler Building and 40 Wall Street combined. A deadline of 18 months. A country with no money, no credit, no confidence. Every skyscraper in history has gone over budget. Every skyscraper in history has gone over schedule. This one has to be done by May 1st, 1931, or the financing collapses and the whole thing dies half-built in the middle of Manhattan. The next time you ride an elevator to your office, anywhere in the world, you are riding inside a system invented on this lot in 1930. The steel beams above your head, the just-in-time delivery trucks that brought your coffee machine, the daily task tracker your manager runs on his laptop, all of it was invented here. Not over decades, in 410 days, because nothing else would have worked. And one question nobody has answered yet. Why, 2 months into the steel frame going up, did the architects suddenly add a 200-foot spire on top? An object with no floors, no offices, no elevators that could actually be used. An object that the commander of the Graf Zeppelin called impractical the day he heard about it. Hold that thought. It matters at the end. January 22nd, 1930. The old Waldorf Astoria Hotel. 1,300 rooms, the largest hotel in the world, is already torn down, gone. Trucked off to a landfill in the New Jersey Meadowlands, where pieces of its limestone still sit under the grass today. Now the excavators hit bedrock. 2 shifts, 12 hours each, 300 men per shift, 55 feet down through Manhattan schist, and the schist fights every inch. It does not crumble, it shears. A jackhammer bounces off it. A drill bit snaps, and the foreman pulls another from a crate and signs a chit, and the clock keeps running. They are not waiting to finish the foundation before starting the building. They cannot wait. The steel is already ordered, 57,000 tons of it, rolling out of American Bridge Company's mill in Pittsburgh. This is the largest single steel order in American history. It is bigger than the entire skeleton of any building ever attempted, and it is being made on a schedule so tight that a girder leaves the furnace in Pennsylvania and is riveted into the frame in Manhattan inside 80 hours. 80 hours. Think about what that means. No warehouses, no buffer, no second chance. A girder late by a day stops the entire floor above it. A girder that is wrong length, wrong hole pattern, cannot be fixed. It has to be rolled again in Pittsburgh and shipped again through Jersey. The cost of one mistake is 3 days of the deadline. Every beam is stamped with a code. The code tells the foreman which derrick will lift it. It tells the crew which floor it goes to. It tells the riveting gang which holes line up with which column. The steel arrives sorted for the hour it is needed. The mills in Pittsburgh, the rail yards in New Jersey, the barges crossing the Hudson, the trucks running up Fifth, the entire supply chain across 400 miles is choreographed to the same clock. If one link runs even half a day late, the tower stops climbing. This sounds obvious now. In 1930, it does not exist anywhere else on Earth. The site has no room to store anything. 34th Street is a working avenue. 33rd Street is a working avenue. The trucks, and there are 200 of them a day, 16,000 partition tiles, 5,000 bags of cement, 450 cubic yards of sand, cannot pile up on the sidewalk. So the builders cut a temporary road through the middle of the site, between the streets, and run the materials straight into the basement. From the basement, bricks pour down a chute into 2 hoppers, 20,000 bricks each. From the hoppers, carts on narrow-gauge rail carry them to the freight elevators. This is a railroad inside a building. It does not exist anywhere else. One beam delivered every 4 minutes. 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, a new floor every 2.5 days. April 7, 1930. The first upright column goes into the foundation. It is made of structural steel that, combined with the 3 other central columns, will carry 10 million pounds at full load. 4 columns holding up an aircraft carrier. By June 20th, 74 days later, the steel has reached the 26th floor. By September 19th, it is topped out at 1,048 feet, 23 weeks, nearly 1,000 feet of building, in the middle of the Depression, with hand tools, with riveters tossing red-hot rivets across open air and a man in a leather apron catching them in a tin bucket. The riveters are the story. 38 gangs of them on site at once, 4 men per gang. The heater works a forge bolted to a plank suspended over the drop. He heats a rivet until it glows orange, tongs it out, and hurls it, thrown, not handed, sometimes 50 feet, to the catcher, who fields it in a funnel and drives it into the hole before it cools. The bucker-up backs it. The riveter hammers it flat. Each rivet takes less than a minute. The building will have hundreds of thousands of them. A riveting gang working a 10-hour shift drives roughly 500 of them. Multiply that across 38 gangs, 6 days a week, 20 weeks. That is the skeleton. Many of the riveters are Mohawk. They come down from the Kahnawake Reserve near Montreal, 12-hour train rides to Grand Central, and live in a Brooklyn neighborhood their families will call Little Kahnawake. They walk steel beams 80 floors up without harnesses. Press interviews print the myth that they feel no fear of heights. The Mohawk ironworkers themselves say something different. We feel the fear. We just learned to work inside it. One ironworker warms his lunch by setting the tin box on a freshly riveted beam. The steel is still hot from the rivet gun. He eats his sandwich 800 feet above Fifth Avenue. He does not look down. During one stretch in September 1930, the crews erect 14 floors in 10 working days. Read that number again. 14 floors, 10 days. The building is going up faster than an office worker can climb stairs. And then the pressure shifts, because steel going up is only half the war. I am standing on what is, in October 1930, the 60th floor. There are no walls yet. There is no elevator past 40. Below me, the floors are being cast in concrete at the same moment the floors above me are being riveted, and the floors below that are being clad in limestone, and the floors below that are being plastered and fitted with marble. 4 entire construction phases happening on top of each other, vertically stacked, moving up the building like waves. One slip in the sequence, one truck late, one crew behind, and the whole chain breaks. Starrett, the contractor, has invented something to stop that. He has inspectors, his own men, not the city's, walking every floor every day, writing down exactly how much work was done, by whom, in what time. The reports go to his superintendent by the next morning. If a floor is 40 minutes behind, he knows by breakfast. If a supplier is slipping, he switches suppliers that week. When a quarry in France cannot deliver Hauteville marble on time, Starrett buys an entire German quarry to supply Rose Famosa marble instead. He does not negotiate. He buys the mountain. The lead inspector has 40 floors on his rounds today. Yours is floor 34. He does not know your name. He knows that at 11 a.m. the south crew should be on their 4th beam of the morning. If they are on their 3rd, something is wrong. He writes the number in pencil. It goes to the superintendent that night. October 1930. The stock market has been dead for a year. The depression is tightening. Unemployment is climbing past 15%. And here is the quiet fact nobody in the press will say out loud. The depression is the reason the building is on schedule. There are 4,000 men available for every 300 jobs. The warmest winter on New York's record keeps the steel crews working through January, when any normal year would have shut the site down for weeks. Labor is cheap. Materials are cheaper. The budget, originally set at $60 million, comes in at $24.7 million. The disaster outside made the building possible. But now the other threat arrives, the one that was always coming: altitude. The architects had revised the plan 15 times before construction even started. Each revision made it taller. The final revision added a 200-foot spire on top, described to the public as a mooring mast for transatlantic airships. Zeppelins would cross the Atlantic. They would tether to the top of the Empire State Building. Passengers would walk down a gangplank, ride an elevator to the street, and be in Midtown in 7 minutes. So how do you moor a 700-foot-long airship to the tip of a skyscraper in the wind patterns of Manhattan? The answer is you don't. The answer, which the engineers knew before the steel went up, is that wind does not behave at 1,250 feet the way it behaves at 100. The skyscrapers of Midtown kick air upward. They create vertical gusts, eddies, shear zones that change speed by 20 miles per hour across the length of a dirigible. A Zeppelin tethered only at its nose becomes a lever. Its tail swings in the wind. The mast takes the load. A 700-foot airship pulling at 40 miles per hour wind force torques a mast the way a fishing rod torques a wrist. And the mast is riveted to the top of a building full of people. September 1931. A private dirigible, the Columbia, makes the attempt. 40 miles per hour winds at altitude. On the observation deck, the wind is loud enough that a man cannot hear the man next to him shouting. The rail is vibrating against his palm. The ship cannot hold position. The pilot fights the controls. The tether connects for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Then they release in the half gale, and the ship drifts off over Manhattan, and traffic on Fifth Avenue is locked solid for half an hour because the crowd below is looking up. The test is called treacherous. The idea is quietly killed. The mast was never really a mast. It was 200 extra feet of building added because the Chrysler Building, 3 miles away, had hidden a 125-foot steel spire inside its dome and pushed it up through the roof at the last minute to steal the height record. The Empire State Building's owners could not lose that race. So they invented a mast, then marketed it, then built it, knowing it would never work. The commander of the Graf Zeppelin called the plan impractical the day he read it. They built it anyway. The engineers came back the next day and wired it for broadcast. November 21st, 1930. The mast tops out. The building is structurally complete 5 months later on April 11, 1931, 12 days ahead of schedule. Al Smith, the former governor of New York, drives the final rivet by hand. The rivet is solid gold. The building opens to the public on May 1, 1931. President Hoover presses a button in Washington, and the lights come on over Manhattan. And the building is empty. The Depression has killed the office market. The tenants are not coming. For the first 2 years, only about 25% of the floors are leased. People call it the empty State Building. Management leaves the lights burning on unoccupied floors through the night, so the skyline looks full from the street. On floor 45, an elevator operator named Ed runs his car to a floor where nobody gets off. He does it 11 times a shift. He is paid to keep the building looking alive. It takes nearly 20 years for it to turn a profit. 20 years. That is the story they tell. Here is the other story. The original steel frame, the same riveted skeleton those Mohawk ironworkers put up in 1930, has never been replaced. Not one column. Not one of the main girders. On a foggy morning in July 1945, a B-25 bomber lost in cloud crashes into the 79th floor at 200 miles per hour, 10 tons of aircraft moving faster than a bullet. One engine punches clear through the building and lands on a neighboring block. Another engine and part of the landing gear drop down an elevator shaft. The building sways. It does not fail. Office workers come in the next Monday. The frame is still carrying the load today, on rivets driven by hand in 1930 by men whose names are mostly lost. The building was supposed to be the tallest. It lost that title in 1970. The mast was supposed to moor airships. It never did. The project was supposed to be profitable in 5 years. It took 20. By every original measure, the Empire State Building failed, and it is still the most recognizable building on Earth. 410 days. 3,500 workers, 5 of them dead by the official count. One of them a man whose name is not in any record that survived, buried under a press quota that wanted 5 and got 5. 57,000 tons of steel hauled from Pittsburgh and barged through Jersey, and lifted by hand into the sky above a country that had just lost everything. The deadline was the engineering. There was no other way to do it. In a year when America was falling apart, the only thing men could still control was how fast they could build. So they built faster than anyone ever had, or has since. If this is the kind of story that means something to you, the kind where the real achievement isn't the height, it's the deadline, subscribe. The next one is already underway.